Willie D Live.
What's up, family? There's an old saying, let an orange man talk long enough and he will tell on himself. Yeah, man. Donald Trump, your president, just stuck his foot in his mouth. Check this out, family. This is an article I picked up on ABC News on their website, and it appears that Epstein stole Virginia Giuffre and other young women from Mar-a-Lago Spa. Who is the owner of Mar-a-Lago Spa? Who strokes the checks? Ding, 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 ding. You guessed it, Donald Trump. Here's the article, fam. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that Jeffrey Epstein stole Virginia Giuffre and other young women who worked at the spa and his Mar-a-Lago club. People were taken out of the spa, hired by him. In other words, gone, Trump told reporters on Air Force One as he returned from Scotland to Washington, where he continues to face fallout from his administration's handling of files related to Epstein. And other people who would come and complain. This guy is taking people from the spa. I didn't know that, Trump continued. And then when I heard about it, I told him, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not. I don't want him taking our people. And he was fine. And then not too long after that, he did it again. And I said, out of here. Trump was then asked if one of those women were Giuffre, an Epstein accuser who died by suicide this past April at the age of 41, who died by suicide allegedly this past April at the age of 41. Giuffre, ABC News previously reported, had accused Ghislaine Maxwell of recruiting her when she was 17 years old, working as a locker room attendant at Mar-a-Lago in 2000, and bringing her to Epstein's home for a massage. Maxwell denies those allegations. I don't know. I think she worked at the spa. Check this out, fam. He said, I think so. I think that was one of the people. Yeah, he stole her. And by the way, she had no complaints about us. None whatsoever, Trump responded. The comments appear to be the most detailed Trump has made publicly about the circumstances surrounding his falling out with Epstein, who died by suicide in prison in 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. At the time of Epstein's arrest, Trump said they hadn't spoken in 15 years. Last week, White House Communications Director Stephen Chung had said Epstein was kicked out of Trump's club for being a creep. Then on Monday, Trump framed their falling out as a result of Epstein poaching his employees after being warned not to. Asked about the apparent discrepancy between the two reasons, Trump asserted they are the same thing. You know, it's sort of a little bit of the same, he said. But no, he took people that worked for me and I told him, don't do it anymore. And he did it. I said, stay the hell out of here. Trump was asked by one reporter during Air Force One gaggle, Mr. President, Epstein has a certain reputation, obviously, but just curious, were some of the workers that were taken from you, were some of them young women? He went on to respond, well, I don't want to say, but everyone knows the people that were taken, and it was the concept of taking people that work for me is bad. But that story has been pretty well out there. And the answer is yes, they were. Maxwell, a longtime Epstein associate who is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence for sex trafficking, is now publicly lobbying for a pardon. She appealed to Congress on that point on Tuesday so she could testify openly and honestly before the House Oversight Committee. When Maxwell sat down for the 9 hours of interviews with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche last week, her attorney David Marcus said they hope Trump exercises that power in the right and just way. Blanche has not revealed what was discussed in the meetings, saying only that he would do so at the appropriate time. Maxwell was granted limited immunity to speak with Blanche, sources told ABC News. President Trump continued to leave open the possibility of a pardon for Maxwell on Monday, saying he had the authority to do so, but hadn't been asked. It's in the news, that aspect of it. But right now, it would be inappropriate to talk about it, Trump said. All right, fam, where you at? Do you believe that Trump knew in advance that Virginia Giuffre, and the other girls who were taken were underage? Do you believe that? Do you believe that he knew? Give me a thumbs up if you believe he knew. Thumbs down if you say, no way, man. Not the President of the United States. Not Donald Trump. Not Honest Don. Thumbs down if you don't believe it. Okay. I hate to say this, family. Y'all gonna be mad at me for saying this. I hate to say this. But I don't believe that Trump believes the words that are coming out of his mouth. Of course he knew. The young girls, he got caught up. That woman, a reporter that asked him the question, she caught him off guard. See, when you start talking, when they start talking and just talking too much, see, the thing about lies is that you got to remember the lie. The truth is on automatic. The truth is automatically registered. And you don't have to try to make things make sense and add it up and all this stuff. It's just the truth. So you spit it out real fast. And you spit it out the same way every single time. And even if somebody try to circumvent the truth, it doesn't matter. It comes right back to the truth. But the lie will send you in many directions. And that's what's been happening with this story. All of these distractions, every time the scent get a little stronger with the Epstein case, the Epstein files, every time the scent get a little stronger, Trump throws a distraction out there. He attacks somebody. He calls out an enemy. What about Obama? What about crooked Biden? He sent Todd out there on a suicide mission. And Todd Blanche, his spokesperson, basically echoes anything he says. I mean, if you could change his voice, he sounds exactly like Trump. He uses the exact same words. A spokesperson is supposed to have a little bit more tact than Trump, right? I mean, we know Trump don't have any tact, but at least he's supposed to surround himself with people who have a little bit more tact than he does, right? Even his spokesperson is, well, crooked Biden, da-da-da. It don't even sound right. And the dude is Asian. It don't even sound right coming out of his mouth. But, hey, that's what we are. That's what we are. As far as Trump being cooked, I think he's cooked in the sense that the jig is up and people know that he knew now. I think he's cooked in that regard. Politically, no, because there are people just like him who voted for him, and they don't care about nothing. They don't care nothing about people, nothing about, nothing about a cohesive society. They don't care nothing about peace. They care about money and racism, or both, or all of the above, all that other stuff. That's what they care about. They really don't care. They're people. They are profit over people. They're those type of people. Profit over people, including themselves. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.